Today, we'll be talking about watering and crop steering techniques to boost your cannabis plant growth and yield. But before we do, today's video is brought to you by RealDGC.com. If you want to connect with our private community of premium growers, get grow tips from some of the best growers around the world, and get access to exclusive Dude Grow Show content, membership is free, and you can become a DGC producer if you want to help support the value that we bring you here. Head on over to RealDGC.com and get signed up today. All right, back to the show. All right, what's up, Scotty? Let's teach. Crop steering intimidates me with the wording, but it's really not that hard. It's taking care of your grow, giving it some love. But let's get into it.
Yeah, crop steering is really, I kind of think I can explain it very simply. It's giving your plant less stress in the beginning so that it just can grow, big vegetative growth. And then when it's flowering, you want to give it a little bit more stress, because it's stressing it out. It's pushing some more trichomes. It's pushing more cannabinoids out. So we'll get into it, but I think it's important.
All right. Let's start. First off, we have the vegetative stage of growth, which you're going to want to give more short and more frequent waterings, which moving into this can be hard depending on how hard you want to crop steer without an irrigation system. You know, you can water your plant once a day, once every 3 days. You could water it heavy, maybe water once every 3 days and get away with it and still turn out some dank. But like Scotty's saying, this is a way to up your game. Media-wise, though, it's kind of important. My first pick for if you're doing a crop steering technique, you're doing frequent irrigation, is going to be cocoa. Rock wool is a good one for some super advanced growers if you want to get into the hydroponic system. Peat would be my last choice, but you're not doing living soil stuff with compost or other things like that. Is not a media for crop steering.
Yeah, crop steering has a lot to do with the amount of water and then the frequency of water that you're going to give it, because we're trying to steer it towards either vegetative growth or promoting trichomes and cannabinoids, growing those trichomes.
And most facilities and people I've visited that have this dialed in, you know, they're going to be doing the watering 3 to 9 times a light cycle. You're obviously using an irrigation system, and they're in smaller containers in general. I'm seeing 2 to 3 gallons if you're really trying to dial in crop steering cycle.
Yep, agreed. And the idea with it is in veg, you're giving it a little bit of water a lot, very frequently. And that's just keeping it to where it's always got the, you know, if you're using cocoa or rock wool or something, they hold a lot of air, even when, I'm not going to call it saturated, but even with moisture. So you're constantly got it in that ideal range, and it is just being able to photosynthesize, being able to grab those nutrients and pull them up, and great for just big vegetative growth.
Let's hit on dryback, because less dryback promotes more growth. And dryback, real quick, is simply how dry you let your plants get before you water them again.
Yeah, the most high performance as far as growth comes in when you give them just little shots of water very frequently. You're not giving them enough water to drown the roots, so it is just constantly just pulling water, or just pulling, when I say water, nutrient water, but that is pulling it through the plant out the stomata, and that's the way you're going to get the most growth. When we want just fast vegetative growth, little shots of water frequently, or of nutrient water frequently.
My analogy is, you know, as somebody, when you're exercising or doing, stay properly hydrated throughout the day. You know, you're not drinking a gallon of water at the end of the day, and that you get your optimal performance. You know, some benefits also, you know, you're a microbe guy, Scotty. I think keeping a consistent moist media is a happier home for those microbes, right?
Absolutely, sir. Absolutely.
I mean, other things are just, again, we're in veg here. We'll go to flower in just a sec. You're supporting root development. It's going to be a lot better. Nutrient uptake is going to be a lot better in that optimal, you know, moisture or oxygen to moisture level, and more vigorous plants. So I see here.
I was just going to say, you are going to need some kind of timer system and pumps. You're not going to be able to pull this off with anything. You're going to need to dial in your watering system. I'll say that.
Unless you're home your whole light cycle and you like going to the grow, you know, X amount of times, and I'm all for it. I'm a hand watering guy, but Scotty's right. You're going to have to look into an irrigation system if you really want to have this performing optimally. Let's talk about dryback.
Well, I was just going to say, this is super advanced. I'd say this one is more advanced for getting this last little percentage out of it. So you're going to be literally measuring how many ounces come out per minute, and how many drippers, and the moisture level and all that. This is going to take a lot of dialing in.
Now in flower, we're going to have more dryback, which means we're letting our plants get drier between watering, right?
Yeah, because we want to stress them out. Think about it, we'll give them more bit of decent amount more water in the beginning, and then we'll let it stress out. We'll let it, dry back significantly. What's that do? Holy crap, I might die here. These conditions are getting a lot tougher for us. Then we push out some trichomes. Don't forget, those trichomes are there to catch pollen, to keep the whole, whole thing going.
Okay, so last tips for dry back, frequency in watering your plants, whether in veg or in bloom. You're going to want to find the right balance and figure out and monitor the plants. Look at how they're responding. You're going to need equipment to do it, which is going to be an irrigation system. And a great piece of equipment also is a cycle stat. That allows you to have as many on and off irrigation cycles as you want. So look into those items. All right, next up, out of watering, let's talk about environmental conditions for crop steering.
Sure, absolutely. It is important.
I mean, we're going to talk about basically main things in the grow: heat and humidity. Those are the two, right? Heat and humidity, temperature and humidity in general that you need to keep in check.
If you say vapor pressure deficit, I don't know, the dude might freak out. But yeah, that's what we're talking about. And dude kind of bust my chops about that. But vapor pressure, you'll see VPD charts for veg and flowering, and they're super useful. And vapor pressure makes sense. It's water pressure, water vapor that's sitting on the leaf. Deficit is minus. So the less water pressure you have sitting on the leaf, the more that leaf can breathe and can pull up nutrients through it and grow. So having too much vapor pressure on there is bad. Having too little, well, the plant can't keep hydrated. So there's a sweet spot to it.
And it's not that I hate it. Vapor pressure deficit is basically your proper humidity levels in veg, your proper humidity levels in early veg, flowering.
Yep.
Beautiful charts all over the internet. Pulsegrow.com has a great charts for all stages of plant growth.
Man, this really is about resource allocation, whether you want those resources to go to green vegetative growth or stress response, trichome building.
Yeah, keep those flowers nice and frosty. And remember, this is an advanced technique, guys. You can really get it dialed in and it will, get that race car growth. Do you have to do it? No, but if you want to up your game, hit it up.
It is a pain. This is a pain in the butt. I do the opposite. I have real buckets. They get consistent moisture the whole time. Oh man, this is an advanced growth. This is an advanced growth technique. Do you know anybody that does it, dude?
I want to do it. I want to get the irrigation system set up. I have everything else dialed. I have the great AC, the dehumidifier. I have the grow room that's sealed. I have CO2 enrichment. The last thing I could do to up my game, this is what this is about, is up my irrigation. Have this, the 7 times a day and really dial it in. So we'll see. I just like to go there. Something to go on. But tell us what you guys do. That's our 2 cents on the matter. Have you guys tried crop steering? How many times it's a light cycle are you watering to get optimal growth? Leave a comment below or any other experiences or questions you have.
And if you dug this video, please hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and share it with a friend. Well, check out the other couple videos YouTube is recommending.